Camera settings don't give you pictures. Pictures give you your camera settings, but how does that work? First off, you've got to be able to pre-visualize the image you want to take looking the way you want to take it. You then work back from that pre-visualization, and that will tell you the settings that you need to apply on your camera in order to make that a reality. Now obviously you've got to know what your camera settings do to be able to do that. Now I'm not just talking about getting the exposure right, that's just a given. You've got to be able to do that. I'm talking about how the settings affect the way an image looks creatively. My Ultimate Beginners course will tell you all about that, and if you don't know how to do it, I would say just go and get stuck into it, because then I can be your guide and take you through all the information you need to know in the logical sequence so that you can just master it. Of course you can faff around, you can find free clips from myself and other great trainers, but how do you know what you need in what order? Because many things in photography contradict themselves later on. Anyway, that's a different story. So how are we going to pre-visualize? I thought the best thing to do would be to take you along on a location research trip, which I did whilst running my yearly workshop on Lanzarote this year. I learnt of a new location, I'd never been there. So I thought, why don't we all go down there? And I'm going to share with you my thoughts, how I pre-visualize, what I'm thinking, and the test shots that I take whilst I'm doing it. It's really important to test pre-visualizations because you don't know if they're going to work until you actually test it. It's not about just spraying and praying. This is about thinking clearly about what it is you think you want to achieve and how to do it. So we're going to pop down there in a minute to do that. Meanwhile, if you've got any questions, please pop them in the comment box below. If you come up with an interesting question, who knows, we might make a video in response, but we certainly try and respond to all your comments regardless. You can watch this video and all the others on my website, where they're accompanied by a free article and some other good stuff. You can sign up to my newsletter up here, and I will send you an email whenever a new one goes live. I'll also send you some free tips once a week as well. What else have I got to do? I've got a note thing on the wall here. This is part one. We're going to do the research, we're going to do the recce and the pre-visualizing in this video, and I'm going to show you my test shots and share my thoughts. In part two, I'm going to go back and do a real live shoot of how I actually shoot it, because as you'll see in this video, there's a reason why I thought this isn't the best time of day. Anyway, without further ado, let's get over to Lanzarote and let me show you how I pre-visualize a new location. So here we are. What a whopper, eh? What a whopper! I'm just fascinated by places like this. Now, it doesn't look very much in this light, in this place, from this angle, and so the important thing is to have a bit of a walk around. We're going to go and check it out. We're going to go see what we can find, because there is so much potential here for some really interesting shots, I think. Now, since talking to you earlier along where the restaurants were, it's clouded over a lot, you can probably see from the sky behind me, but I'm fascinated by this place. There's just so many interesting things. Now the sun is going to rise from that direction in the morning. I think this is a sunrise place. It's going to set over there. I haven't been around there yet. These are just my first initial thoughts. I just want to share them with you so you have some idea of what I'm thinking. Now if the sun's going to set, where's my shadow? Shadows are really, really useful. You can hardly see my shadow because it is so faint. I can hardly see it. Down here my shadow's going that way. So that suggests to me that the sun is going to set kind of over there somewhere, because we are quite a long way south. We're not quite on the equator, but we are a long way south. Excuse the filming, I'm doing it with an iPhone on the end of a selfie stick. I'm also going to be shooting a few test shots maybe along the way. I'm not sure how this is going to work because I don't have that long to do this. I have a meeting with my lovely friend Dave Poxon, veteran of several of my workshops, and he was very kind enough to lend me his Olympus OMD E Mark 2, Mark 1, 2, I don't know, Mark something 2. Really kind of him to lend me this. I'm not an Olympus shooter. If you don't know already, during the workshop we were running last week, I managed to leave my camera, my little Fuji X-T1, on the roof at the back of the van. We were loading bags in, and in the hubbub of loading people up and talking and answering questions, I kind of went off into another world and I drove off with it on the roof. So unfortunately all the shots from the workshop and my little X-T1 are gone. They are no more. So I'll be talking later about another video about what I'm going to do to replace it. Am I going to get another camera? I'm going to get another Fuji? Who knows? After shooting with Dave's Olympus, I might fall in love with that and think of changing systems. It's unlikely because I've got the Fuji lenses. So what am I seeing here? Let me just turn you around so you can see the other way. The first thing I'm seeing is these. You see these 3 vertical slots? I don't know what's going to go on through there. I think they could be quite interesting. There's obviously loads of graffiti kicking around all over the place. I haven't been around the other side yet. I don't know what we're going to find. There's the sun up there, so it's going to set over there. So that tells me that the sun will rise behind me over here. So that means the light's going to be coming in this direction. Now, as you can see when you look up here behind me, look, you see this place here? Look, there are holes there. Now, what's that light going to do? If the sun rises there, we're going to get light coming through here. Could I capture some sun through one of those holes? This is definitely, to my mind, an early morning place. Those are my first thoughts. And thinking is the most important thing in photography, because your camera, that doesn't make the picture, you make the picture. It's you and the 7 building blocks of photography. It's you using your brilliant brain to look at things, to notice things like that. It's where you stand and when you click, not the kit you click with. Such as, I'm borrowing someone else's now. I may make some cock-ups because I've never used this camera before, but we shall see. Right, I'm going to see what else I can find that might be of interest. Actually, I've just seen something which could be interesting already. I don't know. Let me show you. I'll do it this way. You see this end of the building? Up here, we've got these windows. What's the light going to do in here, and what's around the other side? Those are the questions going in my head. That's what's firing in my first building block of photography, my brilliant brain. Let's go around. We'll have a look. So I've come around the other side of the building, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think these sorts of places require a lot of thought. But what I have seen is here behind me. Immediately I'm kind of interested by these shapes, these squares. But look, we've got this bit of blue graffiti going on. Come with me, let's have a little look. What do we got? We've got this eye, and then down below it, I don't know if you can see, it says broken butt. So to me there's a kind of cross-shaped photo in here. I'm getting kind of lost in my photography already. I'm supposed to be just doing a recce, but I'm kind of seeing a kind of cross. There's something with this shape in here with that blue and red. They're complementary colours, they work, and the red down below. You see if I can shoot something to give you an idea of what it is. I'm thinking I've got the camera strap all caught up inside. There we go, that's not very good. Sorry to wobble you around, viewers. I don't have much choice here because I'm on my own. Right, forgive me. Let me see if I can. It's still going on. Everything's all a mess. I'll be back in a tick. Put the phone between my knees and you're going to have a most unpleasant view of me. Okay, let's see if I can get that shot. I'm going to turn the camera vertically. Now, I'm very worried about the highlights burning out behind. David the back button focusing man, so let's get my focus right and just shoot that. Yeah, it's okay, it's quite interesting, but this burnout coming where the sky is coming through just over my shoulder here, I think it's going to blow out. Let's go around the other side and take a little look. Now, if you've ever had a building like this, use your common sense. don't just go running around in there like crazy. There's a reason why it's abandoned, there's a reason why it's all falling apart. I do not recommend you just go charging in. If you are, then make sure you have a local with you who knows the place, who has some idea of what's what. I'm not going to go charging in, I'm going to walk around the outside, so I'll see you when we get there. So here's the other side. We've gone inside the courtyard space, and it's a kind of very different look, isn't it? And I'm quite intrigued by this little place down here. I've been told by some of the locals that homeless people made shelters and homes here, but they seem to have sort of disappeared. They seem to have moved on, possibly because this structure is getting very, very rickety. You can see how rotten the concrete is, and that's why I'm not going to go inside it. The slightest creak, I'm going to run like crazy. But something like this little sort of apartment, look, as we move back, I can do this just with my phone and the camera. You see how this looks kind of interesting. I like the shape, I like the fact someone has made a little Humvee in there. But here's the thing, let's turn this around. In there, behind me, in the morning, I'm wondering, will we get any light coming in through, you know, these little places here? Because wouldn't that look awesome if we have this little place here, just over my shoulder, and then some light coming in above and around. I think that could be very interesting indeed. I don't know if we'll get it, but I'm going to come back tomorrow morning very early. Excuse me, around sunrise to see what there is. Look at this old burnt out down here, look, burnt out old sofa. There's something sad about it. I like the bits of graffiti going on around here. Yeah, it all looks really interesting. It kind of, oh look what's going on down there. Isn't that just one of the loneliest things you can imagine? That little child's tricycle just sitting down there on its own, abandoned. Kids used to play here, you know. They may have been homeless, but they were still kids. They laughed and they played. And there's something about that I enjoy trying to capture. I want to try and photograph. The light at the moment is hammering very hard straight in, and I don't think it's likely to work very well as a shot. Let me just see what I can see through here. It's looking very dark. I need a little bit wider lens, I think. What do we got? Let's just move. You know how I like to move. So if I just take a shot in there, that's my back button focusing, shooting one-handed with someone else's camera here, viewers. You see in the back that doorway. I wonder if we'll get a bit of light coming in through there, because that could be awesome. Let's just walk on a little further and see what's going on through here, because I also think this could be viewed from a distance and it might look more interesting. There's a little bit of graffiti coming up here at the end. Let's dangle the camera. I don't usually wear these things, do I? Look, see, we've got a bit of graffiti coming in around here. There may be something interesting with that. And there's another bit you see in this area down here. There could be a shot with that. I don't know. Spin you around. I hope I'm not making you too dizzy. Let me see, have a little look through the camera. Yeah, there's almost a shot here now. Focus that up so you can see what I'm taking. There we go. And just kind of shoot that. I think that's kind of interesting. I think we've got something there, but oh look, we've almost got like the ascent of man happening in there. I don't know how that might work as a shot. I'm not just going to shoot it for the sake of it, but it's just kind of interesting to look at. I think, we need a jargon buster. I'm going to shoot one. It means there's something unexpected that I'm interested to photograph around the corner. Look behind me. Can you see this kind of rotten concrete, sorry, here we go, in here, going on up through there. Excuse the grubby fingernail. There's something in those shapes that I'm kind of interested in. When I come back in the morning, I might have a little look at that, because as you can see, it's now over this shoulder. Look at the light, look at these windows. There could be good stuff going on through there. And behind me, I don't know if you can see, if I turn around, look at this end here. This is all tumbled down, completely collapsed and ruined. So let's go down there and take a look and see what's happening down there, and see what the place looks like from further back. I like this little corner. I like this graffiti going on around here, and there's another bit further along up there. And I'm just wondering whether or not this little bit here might pick up some early morning light, because it's things like shafts of light coming through cracks in the old building that are going to make this interesting. You really have to get your head around this stuff, guys. It is so important, you know. It's about understanding how light works, where you stand when you click, what to do, how to plan your shot, how to pre-visualize your shot. Camera settings, they don't give you pictures. Pictures give you camera settings. And that's what the 7 building blocks is all about. You've really got to learn how to do it. Now, the other thing that I find extremely interesting is this over this shoulder here. Look at this tumble down kind of ruin that's going on over here. Now, I'm not going too close to that. I'm certainly not going in there, because I think that would just be very, very stupid indeed. But I am interested in this twisted kind of mess where obviously the end of the hotel has collapsed and fallen. Ooh! Ooh, again. I don't know if you can see up here, there's a bit of graffiti going on in there, and we've got some nice kind of shapes happening in here. What could we do with those? Is there a shot to be had with those? I bet your life there is. You bet your life there will be. I don't know what it is yet. You can practice pre-visualizing, by the way, just by imagining photos. It's really what I'm doing now. I'm imagining what this just might look like. You can do it when you're on the train going to work, on a journey. You can do it sitting, staring out of a window, having a cup of coffee. What would this look like from here? How would it look if I changed the aperture, the depth of field? What does it need to make it work? Can you see? It's really hard for me to see, but that bit of graffiti is kind of here on the end of this wall. And look, just underneath it there, there's a hole going through to the other side. That suggests to me there could be some light going on through there. I don't know what sort of light. And I can kind of see beyond, there's like a little flat facade of the hotel from the other side, which kind of looks quite clean. Is there a shot here? Could it be used with this? Oh, look at that, I've just seen it in the video camera. Look at this great shape with a hole in it going on here. How could we use that? Is it possible? Let's have a little go. I want to see if I can take a test shot. Let's see if I can do something with it. Untangle some wires and see what we can do. Right, what have I got? Oh, well, I need to be higher up. Sorry guys, I'm going to try and hold you that way around. I do apologise for the appalling camera work. Let me see, right, let's just see if I stand on here. Ooh, it's a bit wobbly. Way! Way! I've just found some wobbly blocks. Can you see those down there? I don't know. If I stand on these, if I can do this, it might just lift me up a bit higher. That's much better. That's much better. Now, hold the fence, see if I can show you what I'm looking at. Now I'm looking through there at a higher angle. That little piece of light, you may be able to see the flat side of the hotel there. So let me see if I can shoot something. Whoa, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can balance on here. And hold the selfie stick. Back in a minute. So look, that's kind of a shot that I'm thinking of. I like the shape. I quite like it as a shot as it is, but there's too much burnout beyond it. It may need a bit of bracketing to make that work. What does this place look like from down here? It's kind of interesting. We've got some cool stuff going on. We've got this shape. I don't know, if the sun rises somewhere in this area, I wonder if we could get a starburst on the corner of the building, or maybe up here where the two edges meet. There's definitely some cool stuff going on around here. I want to walk around the flat end, the other end, and take a quick look at that. And then I think the research end is done. So here we go, this is the final kind of edge of the building, which I guess all those apartments would once have been looking out across the sea, and they would have seen some probably rather beautiful sunsets. So what could we do with these? How could we use these? How can we make them interesting? Again, I'm thinking if the light is coming up behind these, light is everything, light is just so important. Light is my second building block of photography. It comes in second only to you and your brilliant brain, because it's you thinking, pre-visualizing and imagining shots that give them life. Look what's going on behind me right now. Can you see up here? Look, we've got windows and doors have been put into these, and I kind of like that. We got one, there's a little, there it is. We've got a little balcony, someone's put a table and some chairs and stuff up there. I think that could be quite interesting, and that is framed on either side with those green doors. I think there's probably a very graphic shot to be had inside there from a distance, you know, trying to isolate just that apartment, you know, with the balcony view on it. Let me see how this might work. Get Dave's camera out. I mustn't drop it, it'd be ever so cross. How do we know? Look, now it's moving around. You see I'm walking around a lot. It's because I'm trying to find the place where everything lines up the way I want it. I love the look of those. You might be able to see them better from here. The green doors and the one with the tables on it. Let me just see if I can get a shot of it. As long as the camera hasn't gone to sleep. No, it hasn't. Look, you see, I think that's really quite exciting. Let me try and, sorry, get you there, then you can probably see a bit better. If I can hold the camera still. If I can hold two cameras still. I think there's something there, but also, if you can see it from here, up here, look. Can you see above the one with the tables and chairs? Look, you see that little square? Guess what that is? That's a hole through the wall. That's going out to the other side where the sun's going to be rising from. Will we get one of those light up? Will we get some, you know, imagine some orangey light coming across the ceiling there? That might be interesting. Let's just have a little stroll, just walk up back up to the corner. See what there is. There's also, can you see there's a red one? Hang on, I'm getting all my wires in a mess now. Here we go. I've got to use the wire because of the lavalier mark. But look at this here. See, there's that reddy colour on it, and another gap through to the other side. I think there's definitely a shot to be had there. I wonder if we could get the sun and a starburst in this little place here. It's all very exciting stuff, isn't it? The reason I'm talking you through these thoughts that are going through my head is because you've got to learn how to develop that yourself. And something that's very important to help you develop that is you've got to do it on your own. This doesn't work when you're walking around with one of your mates and you're talking about, oh, Eddie Murphy, and you're talking about things like, I don't know, who bought this camera and what someone at Camera Club said the other day, because you're not looking, you're not concentrating. All the time you're talking about, all the time you spend talking about cameras and kit, you're not thinking about photography. I think there's pretty obviously something with that extraordinarily interesting bit of graffiti. That's quite a nice shot in its own right. I love the chair, and I like, I'll move this for a bit, you can see there's like a naked lady in a gas mask. It's really quite interesting, and there's kind of an interesting shape possibly looking through it that way. I don't know. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts. You've seen a couple of shots that I've taken. I might pop a few more up on the end here just so that you can see what I've been thinking, and then in the morning when we get the sunrise come up behind me, we'll come and shoot it, and we'll do it for real, and I'll bring a proper camera and everything. So see you in the morning, guys.